It's your big bald-headed sister, Action Jacqueline. Thank you so much for tuning into the Bald Girls Gossip Room, the Bald Girls Newsroom. This is my second time streaming tonight, and I'm glad if you decide to join me. I appreciate you. Try to get through the Bald Girl news, which I could not get through during the last stream because I got caught up talking about wigs. Y'all know how easily I'm sidetracked. And even now at my big old age, I'm still getting sidetracked very easily. As it turns out, as you age, you don't change much. At least I don't. Okay, so yeah, I'm having a big birthday tomorrow. I will turn over 50 tomorrow. So that's a big deal. And there's a lot of things like I talked about in the last live that I didn't expect to happen. One of them is that I'd still be making wigs. I didn't know I would still be fussing over wigs like I am. I just finished making this wig. I just customized this wig. I'll show you what it looked like when I first bought it because it was a real gamble. It's the first time I ever played with color with a wig before. So let me show you how it is now versus when I first bought it. So let me capture that photo. Here it is. So here's a photo of what it looked like when I first bought the wig. Totally 613. That was the color. And I was able, proudly, I'm so glad that I was able to do this because I really didn't think I would be able to pull it off. But I was able to root the wig so it wouldn't look like this. I did like when I purchased this wig at the beauty supply store. I liked how smooth the wig is. I felt like someone did a very good job at preserving the health of the hair while they were bleaching it. And for that reason, I decided it would be a decent purchase at only, I think it was like $140, $130 or $140. So yes, I have been wigging it on the cheap because I do not want to sink as much resources into my hair as I did in previous years. I've decided that I'm going to stick to a $250 to $300 a month budget. And the only way to do that is by being able to be savvy with your wigs, knowing how to style them, knowing how to customize them. And this wig was no exception. I had to customize the crap out of it. So I'm going to put it on and then I'm going to go ahead and do the Bald Girl news because I think you guys are going to have fun with the news with me today because you won't believe who is now being accused of wearing a wig. Blew me away. You know, it seems like on this channel, we're constantly revealing all the people who may or may not be wearing wigs, and you won't believe who the new one is. Let me go ahead and pull it out so you can show you who that is. Jay-Z. Yes, Nicki Minaj is accusing Jay-Z of wearing a lace front wig. Y'all want to hear the story? Of course you do. That's why you're watching the Bald Girl News channel. And I can't believe it. If Jay-Z cannot escape the scrutiny of possibly wearing a wig, you know, we always going to be shamed for our wigs all the time. As long as we're wearing wigs, somebody's always going to be up underneath it trying to figure out whether or not it's real. I just want to put that out there because I think it's better for us to just realize this than to spend exorbitant hours each and every day trying to get our wigs to look like our natural hair because it might be one of the most time-consuming things you will do throughout your life, especially if you're a bald girl like me. All right, so let me go ahead and read the story about Nicki Minaj accusing Jay-Z of wearing a wig. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is from Media Takeout, and it was published just today, October 1st, so I'll read it to you. Media Takeout investigation. Is Jay-Z's hair real or is it a wig? Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is out of control, y'all. Will you admit it? Did you see she just took a jab at Cardi B's child? Who does that? How low do you have to be to take a jab at somebody's kid? I mean, I understand they have beef or whatever, but come on now, leave the kids out of it. And really, is this stuff real? Is this rap beef real? Let me stop myself there because I did grow up in the 90s, so I do know how real rap beef can get. We lost some good ones. Biggie Smalls, Tupac, just to name two. All right, so let's get back into the story. Nicki Minaj sparked a social media firestorm last night when she threw shots at her longtime rival Cardi B, and then pivoted to an even bigger target, Jay-Z. I don't know how she did that, y'all. The rap icon accused Hove of rocking what she calls a lace front wig. And suddenly, the billionaire mogul's dreadlocks became the hottest topic on Twitter. Let's look at it again. Y'all want to investigate on your own? Is this a wig? Is this a wig? Well, we're being just as petty as everybody else, even though we are part of the bald community and we should know better and do better. But you know what? We human just like everyone else. And right here in the Bold Girl News, we can be just as bad as we want to be. So let's continue on. All right. What was I saying? Let's go back. The rap icon accused Hove of rocking what she called a lace front wig, and suddenly the billionaire mogul's dreadlocks became the hottest topic on Twitter. But is there any truth to the claim? Media Takeout launched our very own investigation, and the findings may surprise you. How the rumors started. It all began when Nicki Minaj went live on Instagram. You know what? Let me find another picture so that you guys can look. Oh, you can see. All right, good. You can see. It all began when Nicki Minaj went live on Instagram and fired off another round of insults at Cardi B. But in the middle of her rant, she dropped a line that shifted the focus, suggesting that certain powerful men in the industry were hiding behind wigs. A moment later, she made it clear she was talking about Jay-Z. Why would she bring Jay-Z into it? What's going on, Nicki? Nicki, get your shit together and stop fighting with everybody. It's not a good look. Stop it. Within minutes, the phrase lace front wig was trending. Fans across social media began dissecting every recent photo of Jay-Z, zooming in on his scalp, hairline, and dreads. Some insisted his hair looked too neat to be natural. Others joked that Beyonce's stylist must have given him a secret install. Messy work. Social media's obsession with Jay-Z's hair. The internet moved fast. Memes comparing Jay-Z to celebrities with lace front installs flooded TikTok and Instagram. One viral post declared, "Not Hove with the bundles," while another showed side-by-side photos of Jay-Z and a lace wig on a mannequin head. Even people outside the rap world were chiming in, asking if the billionaire rapper had really been hiding a lace front all this time. It was part humor, part genuine curiosity, and all fuel for the rumor mill. What the experts say. To get to the bottom of it, y'all, they hired an expert. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. I've been on the receiving end of wig scrutiny, and hiring an expert is out of control. It's completely diabolical. Media Takeout consulted 2 professional hairstylists. So they didn't just consult one expert, they consulted 2. We provided them with close-up images of Jay-Z's hairline, scalp, and dreadlocks and asked them to weigh in. Both stylists agreed on one key point. Jay-Z is not wearing a wig. Okay, the jury is closed. the professionals have debunked the myth. You can see his scalp and his neck. Y'all, they took a close-up image of his forehead. This is what we have to deal with, y'all. This is what we're up against. You can see his scalp and his natural hairline, one expert explained. There's no lace, no glue line, nothing. That's his real hair growing out. But that doesn't mean the rapper's hair hasn't had some help. According to experts, Jay-Z's hair is definitely dyed jet black. At his age, he would definitely naturally have significant graying. But his hair color appears uniformly dark. It's a very professional dye job, one stylist noted. The dreadlocks, however, remain a question mark. The locks, and there they got a microscopic image of Jay-Z's locks, y'all, because that's how nasty they are. The dreadlocks, however, remain a question mark. The locks don't perfectly match his natural curl texture, another stylist told us. It's possible extensions were added to enhance thickness or length? If so, whoever did it is very skilled. It's hard to spot. Well, I would imagine so. I would think that if Jay-Z was going to get a stylist, he'd pay them a lot of money, considering how much money he has. Okay, why Nicki targeted Jay-Z? Let's see. Why did Nicki do this? Nicki Minaj has a history of redirecting her beefs into larger conversations. By pulling Jay-Z into her Cardi B rant, she ensured the story would explode beyond just the Nicki versus Cardi feud. She has previously taken aim at Megan Thee Stallion, Travis Scott, even the Grammys, knowing that dragging unexpected names into the drama keeps her trending. In this case, the wig accusation turned Jay-Z's hairline into a national debate. The verdict. So what's the truth about Jay-Z's hair? According to the experts we spoke with, no wig, his scalp and hairline are visible and authentic. Yes, to dye, his hair has clearly been colored black to cover grays and maybe extensions. His locks could have been enhanced, but it's inconclusive. In short, Nicki Minaj's claim of a lace front wig doesn't hold up. Jay-Z isn't rocking lace, but his look is definitely being maintained with the help of professional dye and possibly some added locks. Why it matters? That's a good question. Why does it matter? For fans, this was never really about whether Jay-Z's hair is natural or not. It's about how one offhanded insult from Nicki Minaj can set the internet ablaze. By morning, memes, think pieces, and wig investigations had taken over the timeline, all because of one comment from this messy girl right here, y'all. Whether you believe Jay-Z's dreads are 100% natural or a little enhanced, one thing is clear. Nicki Minaj knows exactly how to flip a feud into a full-blown viral circus. And she did. And she did. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay. But that's it. We talked about this, just last week? The reason why people feel like... the reason why, oh, how didn't that work? Sorry, y'all. Here we go. Hey, yeah, we talked about it just last week. The reason why people hyper focus on hair and whether or not someone hair is natural. And it was revealed to me in a conversation that I had just a little over a week ago that the reason why they feel like they must know whether or not your hair is real is because they look at it as cheating, which is something that I had never considered as a woman who wears wigs for medical purposes. I've never in my life worn wigs so that I could trick anyone. I wear wigs so I can protect my heart. I wear my wig so I can go out into the world and not have to deal with the constant staring, the constant pointing, the constant conversations. But it's not foolproof because no matter how good my hair looks, and especially the better the hair looks, I get the more and more stares, glares, and investigators. Like the wig police are out there and they need to make sure that you are not cheating the beauty system anyhow. Like, you know what I'm saying? You cannot cheat. They will find you out. And Jay-Z is no different. All right, so let's go on with the news. The next topic of today's Ball Girl News segment is, Tina Turner. Let's talk about Tina Turner and how they did Tina Turner with her monument. Okay, so an odd-looking Tina Turner statue trashed after hometown unveiling. It looks like Ronald McDonald in a wig. That's what they're saying about the statue that was erected in honor of the late, great Rolling on the River, What's Love Got to Do with It singer Tina Turner. One of my faves, by the way. Have you guys ever seen Tina Turner perform in her youth, especially when she was married to her very abusive ex-husband, Ike Turner? Oh my God. Not for nothing. She was a hell of a performer when she gave that man her very, very best years, I tell you. But anyway, that's not the conversation for today, so we won't get into it. Let's go ahead and read the story about this odd-looking Tina Turner statue. What is this? Simply the worst. A new statue of the late great singer Tina Turner has been branded so disrespectful after it was unveiled in the music icon's hometown. And the reason why this is important, y'all, in case you're wondering why I'm reporting on this in the Bald Girl News room, is because of the wig. Of the wig. Y'all know Tina Turner is famous for wearing a certain wig. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, Lord, that's not it. See if I can find Tina Turner looking fantastic in her wig. Mm. Oh, that's not it. Oh, we need images, right? There she is. Okay, so this is how most people remember Tina Turner, and this is because she made her. I think she became famous off of that "What's Love Got to Do with It" album. Although we all know many of her songs, and she's had better looks than this, in my opinion. But this is the hairstyle, and it took her to another level. I think it gave her a very punk edge, and well, she always had crossover appeal, so that wasn't it. But it was very in at the time in the '80s when she recorded this song. So anyway, this statue depicted her wearing this particular wig, and good God, did they miss the mark? Is this it? Okay. I was reading the New York Post article, wasn't I? Yes, I was. Yes, I was. All right. Okay. Simply the worst. A new statue of the late great singer Tina Turner has been branded so disrespectful after it was unveiled in the music icon's hometown. The 10-foot high bronze statue, 10 feet of this mess, y'all, depicted the queen of rock and roll with a microphone and in her signature miniskirt and heels. Was unveiled on Saturday in the rural town of Brownsville, Tennessee, around an hour's drive east of Memphis. It stands near a museum honoring Tina, who died in May 2023 at age 83 in Switzerland. There it is, y'all. Look at the wig. Is this how they're going to remember me? Is this what's going to come of me because I'm wearing cheap wigs? Please, y'all, if I ever become ultra famous and somebody makes a statue out of me, I'm putting it out there right now so that when you look at it, do not film me in any ridiculous wig. Find the best wig of me and make it flat, not big like that, because that's insane. I can't, I can't believe the audacity of this statue, y'all. It is so disrespectful. Hold on. Here it is. Here it is. Woo. I'm going to show you the close up of the face. The face also looks insane. All right, hang on. The sculpture aimed to capture the "What's Love Got to Do with It" belter's flexibility and her iconic hairstyle, which Atlanta-based sculptor Fred, I can't pronounce that name, Ajanoga, compared to the name of a lion. Okay, so they were trying to say that it looks like a lion, so that's why it was so huge. But the grand unveiling was quickly met with derision and anger as many fans branded it an insult to Tina's memory. Whoever made that Tina Turner statue can burn in hell, and the death penalty for the ones who approved it, one furious fan wrote on X. Why did this Tina Turner statue look like Ronald McDonald with a shaggy wig? Asked a second. Who is this? What is this photo? Karen Cook said she traveled from Georgia to attend the event with her friend, a cousin of Turner's, to honor the legendary performer. Okay, so I guess this is Karen Cook. All right, Karen. She decided to wear the Tina Turner wig, which actually looks better than the one on the statue, I will say. Another joked that the sculpture was more Timu Turner. Look at her face. She does look like Ronald McDonald, y'all. Oh, Lord. Okay. The video of the unveiling on Facebook also attracted bemusement. The statue should have been kicked down after the unveiling, one Facebook user wrote. So disrespectful. The statue was funded by around 50 donors, including $150,000 from Ford Motors, which is building an electric truck factory nearby. I can't with the statue, y'all. It's distracting me. Okay, there she is again. Looking nothing like herself. They did bad, bad, bad. I wonder if the artist, as he was making this sculpture, said to himself, I just can't get this right. I don't know how I'm going to deliver this by the due date. And just gave it in, even though they were so not ready. It just seems like they handed it in too early. They needed more time. And he should have asked for it. If the sculptor needed more time to work on this, he should have asked for it. Because I know he doesn't think this looks like Tina Turner. Lord have mercy. Okay. Saturday's unveiling was part of the annual Tina Turner Heritage Days, celebrating the life of Brownville's most famous daughter. Entrepreneur Life says, it gave me the crying eyes. I'm sorry. Hi there, Entrepreneur Life. Thanks for joining. She's a great artist. I love her music, said Karen Cook, who traveled from Georgia to the event. Oh my God, people actually travel to see this. My mom listened to her a lot. It's a big deal and a great thing for the community to have Tina Turner in her small town. Oh, that's it. That's the story. That's the story. The body looks good. But what's this guy's name? Shame on the artist. What's his name again? I have to go find his name. Fred Agenoga. Fred. Take that back to the drawing room and do it over. Do it over, because I know you knew this was not right. I just know it. Aeon Star says, your eyebrows are laid, girl. Oh, thank you. No one ever compliments my eyebrows. I have tattoos underneath. I have a tattoo underneath, and it turned blue. So, for those of you who want advice for a woman who's about to turn 51 years old, I advise you to never get tattooed eyebrows. I've seen microblading work, but since I had the tattoo done when I was just 18 years old, I will never do it again. Suvik Roy says, wear a bandana as a mask, please. Oh my God, Suvik, how are you? Suvik has been asking me to wear a bandana as a mask for probably 5 years. I feel like I could give Suvik a bandana if I have one right here with me. I just washed one. Otherwise, it would be right here, but I don't want to leave. I don't want to walk away because I got to finish doing the Bold Girl News. You mind? I'll do it afterwards. Okay, Suvik? Okay. All right. So the next thing in the news. Okay, there's a wig thief. And this wig thief, she's a particular mess. There's wig thieves all the time. Like, for some reason, they're always catching these girls from the hood snatching wigs from beauty supply stores. And it's just an embarrassing thing to do. It's just so embarrassing. And I often wonder what it would be like. Let me get this off my screen, by the way. I'm sorry. I often wonder what it would be like if I did not have the resources. And I thank God every day. Jesus Christ, I thank God every single day that I have the resources to keep hair on my head, because I realize that in the grand scheme of things, if I had to stop spending money on something, eventually it would have to be here, right? So Eon says, I just subscribed. Thank you, Eon. We got a new subby. Name is AEON Start. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that I don't let you down, okay? But yeah, I do wonder, like, what would I do if I didn't have the resources to buy a wig? Would I ever? Because you know what? Up against the wall, people do some wild shit. But not everybody who does wild shit is up against the wall. Some of them are just thieves. You know what I'm saying? I reported once about a woman who snatched a wig off of a dead body in a funeral parlor. She actually entered the back door of a funeral parlor and snatched the wig off of it. Granted, the woman was like the local pickpocket, probably like a drug addict or something like that. I don't know. But nonetheless, she snatched the wig from a dead body. And these are the measures people go through. And I know that if you went to TikTok or you went to YouTube or any of these social media outlets, you could type in caught on camera stealing a wig and you would just find tons and tons and tons and tons. But this one story, this one hits different. And I'm going to show you why, okay? Aeon says, you fine as hell. I'm sorry. Thank you, Aeon. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, let me tell this one story. Open it up. Wait, let me close this one out so I make sure. So we talked about Tina Turner. I'm going to close that out. We talked about the odd statue. That's it again. Oh my God. Oh, that's not everywhere I want to be. I'm sorry. I'm going to close this out. Stay with me for y'all. Stay with me for a second, guys. I just want to pull this back up. And I'm being slow again. I'm being slow.
A heartless thief has stolen wigs made.
All right. So disclaimer ahead of time. This is a video that is British, Australian in particular. And I find the Australian accent very difficult to hang on to. I can do the British one. I can make that one out, but the Australian accent is very strong. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you just the same because I think some of you are probably better at deciphering the accent than I am. Hang on. Oh, why can't I pull it up? That's weird. Oh, there it is, y'all. There it is. Let me show you how shameful this is. Before I go ahead and read and run the video, I'm going to read it to you because it is kind of difficult, admittedly, to hear. Oh, I can't find it. There's nothing to read. Oh, okay. It says, police are seeking an unknown woman over the alleged theft in Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne is in Australia, right? Oh, turn on captions. Why didn't I think of that? Thank you. Oh, you're so smart. Wait. Maybe I have to go into YouTube to do that. I'll do that. I'll go into my YouTube app and then turn on captions like you said.
A heartless thief has stolen wigs.
Stop. I don't think there is captions. For some reason, when I click on that CC thing, it doesn't come up. Let me go ahead and show it to you anyway. I'm talking too much. I apologize for that.
A heartless thief has stolen wigs made specially for kids with cancer from a Richmond shop. As Penelope Leash reports, the woman made off with 4 custom hair pieces worth $20,000.
For generations, the Barnett family have been handcrafting custom hair pieces. When wigs made for children with cancer went missing, they never imagined they could have been stolen.
I just could not believe that someone could do that.
But in broad daylight, a woman strolls into the Richmond store and begins checking out the custom pieces, while staff are busy in private consultations. One goes straight into her bag, then another vanishes, and another shoved into her jacket. In 90 seconds, 4 wigs were stolen on Monday afternoon, the thief heading back along Lennox Street with a man who'd been keeping watch outside.
Retail, these are worth $5,000 each because of the time that the girls take to knot them. One of them, the hair was donated, and we just can't replace that.
The young cancer patients have been left with nothing, as replacements will take 8 to 10 weeks to create. Rhonda doesn't believe there's a resale market and fears all the work will be tossed away.
They won't fit, and my concern is that because they won't fit, she'll just throw them out.
No matter what condition they might be in now, Rhonda just wants the wigs returned, whether they're dropped to police or appear back here at the shop on Lennox Street.
I don't care if it looks ratty. We can work on that, but it's just these kids want these wigs and they're gone. Just bring it in. No questions asked. Just bring them back, please.
Penelope Leash, 9 News.
That's a wild story. And I think the thing that stood out to me is something that I've recently been talking about a lot on this channel.
December 1st, 2018.
Oh, how do I get that?
TV records 22-year-old Grace entered in.
You stop. Something I've been talking a lot about on this channel is where our human hair comes from in the wigs that we wear. I have been paying a lot of attention lately to this topic because in the news, they often discuss violacious acts in countries that make a large portion of their GDP, gross domestic product, on the sale of hair. Of course, that's not happening here in the United States. When hair is donated in countries, in first world countries, it's usually donated or cut off and sold for a amount that is acceptable, right? But in these countries that make their money off of hair trade, it gets so dirty. I'm talking about people getting their hair cut off at knife point and this point. You know what I mean? People who, little girls walking to school with their ponytails, and by the time they come home in the evening, their ponytails are chopped off by hair thieves. I think they're called ghost barbers. There's actually a term for them used in India. India is responsible for 90% of the hair that we wear. We know that when Indian women are able to grow some exorbitant hair, and I'm so thankful that they are able to share it with us, but I don't like the way that the hair is sourced. So when this woman talked about the hair being donated, like some little kid coming inside for their first haircut, they grew their hair all the way down mid-back just so that when they were ready to get this haircut, they could walk into that particular shop and donate hair just for some girl to come inside and steal it. That is wicked. That is wicked. And I felt so bad. That woman, she had so much pain in her heart. She was like, you know what? I just give the hair back. The kids were waiting for these wigs, and these wigs take long to make. My first wig that I got when I was 12 years old, I remember waiting I was about 12 years old. So I could be wrong, but I do remember waiting about 6 weeks for this wig. And in that 6 weeks, my hair was falling out rapidly. Like I really needed that wig. And to be honest, that first wig was so bad. I mean, this was back in the 80s. Wigs were not good. And I think the person who made my wig was trying to match the hair that was already existing on my head. And the hair that I had left on my head was dead. It was like dead. It was wiry. It started turning gray. The only reason why it was there was because my mom plaited it. Like it was a horrible wig, but that's neither here nor there. But I waited 6 weeks for it. And I mentioned how bad it was because I needed the wig so bad that I took the wig as it was, even though it was bad. Like I just needed the wig. And at that time, you could just walk inside a wig store and buy a wig. They just didn't exist like that. And if they did, they were kind of like costume wigs. So, especially to people who live in areas where wigs are not common. And there are places like that. Like here in New York, you can go up the street and buy a wig from the beauty supply store. But like I just came back from Thailand and I couldn't find a wig store to save my life. I mean, these women in Thailand don't need wigs unless they're sick. And then I guess there's a place that they could go, but it's not like some corner wig store like it is here. You know what I mean? Anne said, you would look good in any hairstyle. You have a pretty face. Thank you, Anne. Appreciate you. And says, yeah, India, yeah, they're responsible for, what did they say? You could check me on this in case I'm wrong, but I think 80 or 90% of the hair that is, of the wigs that are made in China are made from hair that was sourced in India. So yeah, it's crazy. And that woman, she walked the sign. Now I talked about early before we looked at the video, and you want to see it again? Did y'all people here? Now the seriousness has left the building. Did y'all peep the ladies here? I did say, I prefaced the conversation by saying, I don't know what extent I would go to get a wig if I didn't have access to one. And then we see the lady who stole the wig. And I wonder if she also was suffering from not being able to have the resources to have a good wig, because the wig that this woman was wearing looked pretty darn bad. I'm going to show it to you again. That still doesn't give her the right to steal, 3 or 4 wigs? But, and she doesn't have the right to steal at all. But there, when times are rough, people do things out of desperation. Let's look at the woman's wig. I want y'all to look at it. Let's watch it one more time. I'm not going to take you through the whole story, but I'm going to take you through the part
the Barnett
where they show her
family have
hair.
been handcrafting custom hair pieces. Of the custom pieces, while staff are busy in private consultations. One goes straight into her bag, then another vanishes, and another shoved into her jacket. In 90 seconds, 4 wigs were stolen on Monday afternoon. The thief heading back...
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rewind that again. See if I can zoom in a little bit on her hair, because the hair is pretty bad, y'all. Her wig is pretty bad. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's a really bad wig she's wearing. I'm guessing she has some sort of probably hair issue underneath there, and maybe she can't afford a wig. Oh, she went with someone. That guy was behind her. I don't know, but maybe she was just wearing the wig as a disguise, because that's also something that's very likely. But stealing hair from a store like that, I don't want to say too much because people are going to judge me. I mean, I don't believe in stealing. I don't, but then again, like I said, I don't know how bad it is out there. I don't know how bad it is. All right, guys, that wraps up the Ball Girl News. My son is calling me. I don't have anything else to share tonight, but I thank you so much for joining me, Aeon and Suvik. Roy, I'm not going to be able to do the scarf tonight, but I will. I promise you, Suvik. I will. An Entrepreneur Life